What's good with your family? How y'all doing? This is Mario Mathews, owner and operator of MinutesTillDawn.com and owner of the new book, Dream No More, Rise of a Lion. Dream No More, Rise of a Lion is a coming-of-age tale featuring a young boy named Lion who is torn from his family due to a civil war that occurs in his home country. He's taken in by a host family, nursed back to health after he's found injured and alone. And once he's nursed back to health, they find out that not only has he been displaced from his home country, but his family is also captured by a mysterious sorceress. So now they're on a quest to retrace their steps back to where they found Lion in order to unravel the mystery surrounding his circumstances and to help hone his skills for the journey ahead. Dream No More Rise of a Lion is in stores right now on Amazon and Lulu.com. Amazon, you can get the paperback and the ebook. On Lulu, you get this hardback version. Thank you for all the support. I appreciate it. This is a family-friendly item. No curse words, no none of that in it. Very action-packed. It's a sci-fi fantasy, like an amazing adventure. So please, thank you for all the support, all the love, and just holler at your boy. Thank you. I appreciate you. All right, so we actually here today to start is the beginning of a new series that I'm going to start on the Facebook, on the Facebook channel, and actually the YouTube channel. Sorry, excuse me, the YouTube channel. So with that being said, this is the first episode, and I actually want to, I actually wanted to give people some time, people who got the book, people who, reading the book or whatnot. I wanted to give people some time to, digest the content because I know it's a lot of content in the book, and that's good. You get bang for your buck, man. You could pick it up, enjoy it, and come back. Do your thing a day later, whatever. Get an apple, get it in the sun, read the book. It's all good. You feel me? But now, we about like 2 months, over 2 months out. You know what I'm saying? And we are about to get into this series. And this series of Author's Corner is dedicated to, all my family, all the friends, all the fans of the series. You know what I'm saying? So I really appreciate all the support, y'all. Don't forget to like, share, subscribe to this YouTube channel, and we are going to get into a lot of the content itself within the book. You know what I'm saying? Now, when I first started this channel, one of the first videos that I did was actually an overview of the Prelude. But this time, what we're going to get into a lot more specifics of the Prelude. And for those who don't know, you can actually access the Prelude on our book to look. Our book to look link will be below the video. So you can click that link. You can go to the book to look, the Dream No More Rise of a Lion book to looks app or page. And that's actually free. It's free, so you can read the Prelude. The Prelude is absolutely free. You don't have to pay anything to read it, and you can get into it on that. So with that being said, let's get into the Prelude in more specifics. And of course, I am your host, and I am also the author of Dream No More Rise of a Lion. I want to get into more of this because every time I think about it, the face just... it's like, I finally did it, you know what I'm saying? But, obviously there's a lot more to come. This is only the first book of many. So we are getting into these bars, family. We are getting it. You feel me? All right, so, I got like my little author's notebook, you know what I'm saying? And, there's a few things I wrote on this that I wanted to talk about with y'all as far as the book, So we getting into a little, like, deep diving into it. So, let's get it. Let's get it. So, first things first, when you read the Prelude, one of the things that just jump out at you is the style of writing. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people are definitely not used to, the style of writing, but it's very captivating and unique. You see what I'm saying? The reason I did that on purpose. One of the reasons why I did it is because I grew up writing that way. Like, you feel me? Like when I was in high school, middle school, I grew up writing like this, and I actually had I actually had a small group of friends who we would all get together. We write scripts like that. You know what I'm saying? Nowadays it's I made it a little bit more professional, and I made sure to simplify the format so it's easy to read and it's presentable, in a novel format. At the same time, it translates well into other formats as well. You know what I'm saying? So the simplified scripted format, that's what I call it, the simplified scripted format. Essentially what I did was take out all of those markers that you would find in the script, and I wrote it in a novel style of pacing. The descriptive writing, saying bringing to life the environment and the characters and stuff through through action based writing. It's all in the book, and it's dope, man. You know what I'm saying? I think it's a dope format. It's very unique. I'm calling it my own, and it's one that I hope will stick around and people will be very impressed with it. So thank you. You know what I'm saying? So that style of writing is dope. My man Easy, and now I'm dropping names. You know what I'm saying? He's one of the people that helped me with the interior design, and we'll talk more about that later. However, we'll actually talk more about that on Patreon, but we'll get to that later. However, one of the things that I'm very happy about, the way the book is presented is the way it's very easy to follow along with which characters are talking and interacting with one another. It makes it very easy to see the character relations that is growing and building within the novel itself. You know what I'm saying? And the dialogue between the characters. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people may notice. You may notice a bit, and we're gonna talk more about this on Patreon too. You may notice a bit that the dialogue is very is very unique in of itself. Reason being is I wanted to draw out those. I wanted to draw out the character of people, and I want to have them interacting with each other in this format that feels authentic. You know what I'm saying? It's almost like you can hear them talking to each other and relating to each other and trying to understand and have the storyline roll out. So it's very dope. I love it. I love it, man. But anyway, let's get to some other stuff. The pacing. So as you know, the pacing of the novel, man. If you read the prelude, you see that this thing just jumps right into the fray. You know what I'm saying? Like there's really there's no time for it's not subtle. It's not subtle whatsoever. Like when you start reading this thing, you jump right into it. It's almost like it's a ready-made world to be explored, and that's exactly how I wanted it. You know what I'm saying? Because this book is at least like 14 years in the making, man. Like I said, I've been writing this thing since I was in middle school, and I've actually finished books before. I just never published anything. So this is my first published book. And that goes to show you that I've had a substantial amount of time to actually develop this idea, this world, this universe, the characters, the environments, all of it. Like I had extensive time trying to figure out how I'm gonna do this thing, and it just turned out amazing, man. I love it. I love it. You know what I'm saying? So okay, so the pacing, you just jump right into the fray. You know what I'm saying? And it's dope. The world is ready to go. The characters, right out the gate, you get introduced to like let's see that 3, 6, 9, 12. 15, 16, 17, 18 characters are introduced in the prelude. Now, mind you, a lot of these characters, they all have history together, and I wanted to make sure to paint that picture in this world that you have these dynamic characters and you have this history between the characters that are unraveling between your eyes. And if you catch the clues in the context between, in the dialogue and in the characters themselves, which we will get to more so in later part of this video. But if you can catch it, you find you can definitely sense the how the vast amount of history and the countries, the countries that are currently engaged in a civil war, and it's very, very dynamic, and that's exactly what I wanted, man. I wanted this thing to be brimming with life and history, so that's what's up. All right, so in the in three. Okay, so character relations and interactions, right? So you know Lion's parents, so Kai, Rain, and Rose, when the parents. So when you are reading the book, and you notice that these three characters, Kai, Rain, and Rose, they are very, they're very engaged in themselves. Rose has that stern teacher type, almost like a tiger mom. She has like that tiger mom sort of feel to her, right? Where she don't take no crap, but at the same time, she loves her. She loves the baby. Auntie love the baby. You know what I'm saying? But she is very stern and direct. And she definitely wants the best for Lyon. And Rose is Lyon's auntie, right? So you'll find out. I'm not gonna spoil too much, but that here you find out that Rose is Lyon's aunt. All right, so that makes Rain his mother and Kai his father. Now Kai, Kai is the wise one. He's wise. You know what I'm saying? He definitely has that wisdom, and that sort of teacher story, almost like he has the ability to capture the imagination of Lyon in order to teach him very valuable lessons that he needs to grow up into a man. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the type of feel that you get from Kai. Kai is that father figure that is very, very wise, and he illuminates the path forward. You know what I'm saying? And that's a dope feeling, man. I love that. I love that feeling. And Rain, she is the commander of the family. You know what I'm saying? The commander, and the family structure is very, very intentional. And you'll find out later on in the series. I'm not going to spoil that too much, but the family structure is actually very intentional, and you'll see definitely, especially later on in the story if you get the context clues. But at any rate, Rain, she's that commander of the family. She is the bulwark. She is the one that she is the one that when she speaks, everybody listens. She's commanding. You know what I'm saying? And it's Lyon is her child, and she has that that aura in her, in within her existence, that she is the type of person or the type of parent that demands greatness and respect and admiration. So that's the type of character that Rain is, and is a dope dynamic, man. I love it. Okay, let's move on. So Lorelai is the aunt of the family, and later on in the series you'll find out more about the backstory between how Lorelai became the nanny. Oh, I'm sorry. Did I say aunt? I meant nanny. She is the nanny of the family, and you'll find out later on, and right out the gate during the story, you can see Lorelai interacting with Lyon, and Lorelai, she has this this sort of affirming approach to interacting with Lyon, calling him champ, you know what I'm saying? Like, I need those muscles, you know what I'm saying? Like she encourages him to be his best self. And that's what a nanny does, you know what I'm saying? A nanny is there for you, man. A nanny wants to help you along your journey and really give you that affirmation, of character. So that's what Lorelai's sort of introduction in the book is, and I love that. I love it. Let's see. Okay, so now we getting into a little bit more dynamic of character relations. So Ion and Kai and Rain, right? So in the story, in the prelude, you see that Kai, Rain, and Rose have already identified the main camps of the forces that is about to collide with each other on the Meadow Plains. And it's the Meadow Plains. It's a meadow, and it's the Meridian Forest, and the plains near the forest, right outside of the forest. They are about to, essentially like continue their war with each other, and it's about to get really drastic. So Kai, Rain, and Rose, they identify. Rose go out. She's identified the main camps of both sides, and they split up. So Rose goes to confront Siruda, and Kai and Rain goes to confront Ion. So their interactions are very, indicative of their history, with not only the personal relations with the characters themselves, but the relations with the nation and the governments that control, this nation state. You see what I'm saying? You'll find out later on in the story how instrumental how instrumental these characters are when it came to establishing peace within the realm of this nation state. And now it just descended into chaos once again. And that's why the dialogue between these characters are so personal. You can feel the sort of personal connection that these characters have that dialogue with, and it's very it's very intentional. So let's continue. Rose. So Rose has you find out that Rose has this sort of this nickname. Roya Kusa. Oh, Roya Kuse. You know what I'm saying? Roya Kuse. And that is a name that she do not like. She don't like that name whatsoever. She don't like it. But at the same time, like the warriors, you know what I'm saying? The warriors within this sort of this nation state that is now descending into chaos. Everybody knows who she is, and she is no joke. Okay, all right. When they see her, they think that name. They like, whoa, that's Royal Kuse. You know what I'm saying? And Royal Kose or whatever. Hey, look, I come up with the names I do. My pronunciation's kind of off. Okay, hey, it happens. Okay, and you know what? We'll talk more about that on Patreon too. We'll talk more about that on Patreon. Trust me, it's funny. It's funny how I just come up with names and stuff like that. We'll talk on Patreon. So let's see. Let's go. Okay, so the speaking Huedi, right? And that's another thing we'll talk about on Patreon. But we'll talk about something right now here. So speaking Huedi, right? So this is actually a language that I just made up, man. Like I made the language up, and Huedi is that language that you'll find in the first few pages within the book. And the parents, Kai, Rain, and Rose are communicating with each other, and they're speaking in their native language. Now, I put as you could probably see when you're reading, I put at first I put translation, right? So translation would obviously mean that these people are speaking within the context that the dialogue needs to be translated, meaning they're speaking in a different language, right? And then it is translated so you can obviously follow. Now, Huedi is the language that is that is native to Kai, Rain, and Rose and Lyon. And without giving too much spoilers, you'll find out later on in the series. But I mean, at this particular point, it's a couple months out. So we getting into it at any rate. Certain things gonna get spoiled. So Huedi is a Renzito language, right? And it is a Renzito language, and their family history, has carried this particular version of Huedi, what I'm saying, for, a very long time. You'll find out more about the family in the family history later on in the series. But Huedi is definitely the language that is native to Renzito in this particular family history. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, yeah. So that's what's up. Let's go to character descriptions. Now, the character description is really interesting because there was a couple of people that I was going back and forward about the description. Like, for example, Lorelai. Like Lorelai, at one point I wanted to give her like a mohawk. At one point, I was thinking, okay, do I want to make her, what kind of character do I want to make her? You know what I'm saying? Like, it's one of those things where I was juggling, okay, obviously, she's fit. She's kind of buff or whatnot. You know what I'm saying? And, she is that type of character that, that could definitely hold her own in combat. So, with that being said, a lot of characters in the prelude, you'll find that the descriptions are very wide ranging, right? You got knights, you got ninjas, you got unarmed fighters. You know what I'm saying? People. Especially Kai. He's one of those characters that got a really good fighting style. You know what I'm saying? You think he unarmed, but hey, he put them dogs on you. You ain't ready. You know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, bro. But yeah, man, like the character description, man. I really just sit down and think about, okay, what kind of character do I want to create, or what kind of character should this symbolize? You know what I'm saying? And it works very well, with the kind of characters there are. Their personalities and stuff. That's what I wanted to keep in mind, keep in context. Rain, she's the knight. She wears the armor. You know what I'm saying? And she has that commanding spirit, right? Rose, she very stern. Very stern and very serious, very straight to the point. You know what I'm saying? And I thought, okay, yeah, that ninja, that ninja style is very good for her. And Kai, I was thinking, almost like a fighting monk. You know what I'm saying? That's dope. That's dope. So yeah, yeah. And there's other characters too, like for example, Ikiyi. He has that almost that ruby or sapphire armor on. When the sun hits it and it lights up. You know what I'm saying? And Ion and Sirudai. Ion with the half mask. You know what I'm saying? And Sirudai on chilling on her throne. I just thought the characters. I was thinking, okay, let's have some really colorful characters. They capture the eye, and the descriptive writing is very fun and engaging. I was thinking that would go a long way. So I think I did a good job. I think I did a dope job. Okay, now gender representation. Now, as you can see, there's a lot of women being represented in the story, and to be honest, man, like, We doing fantasy sci-fi, man. Like that's in right now. It's in right now, and it's dope. Okay, I represent the ladies. Represent on the battlefield. You feel me? But nah, man. Like seriously though. Like I always thought I always grew up with this type of the type of content, where you got the ladies and the ladies and the men being represented on the battlefield, you know what I'm saying? And due to its sci-fi fantasy and you got all these different monsters and stuff like that though, but in the prelude itself, if you read a little bit about the sort of interactions between the dialogues between how do you say the dialogue between the male and the female characters, they are very it's almost as if you talking to a soldier. You see what I'm saying? Because these people, they have experience, they have history, they've seen it all, did it well, not seen it all, but they've been through some very trying trials and tribulations, as one would say. You know what I'm saying? Especially when it comes to war strategy, battlefield presence, all this good stuff. Like they are in it. They are in the thick of it. You know what I'm saying? So when it comes to that, the main context is if you could pick up a sword and you could fight, then you better do it. You feel me? So that's what it is. That's what it is, man. Equality. All right. So let's get into some specifics on the plot, right? So the prelude starts. Lion in his bed. He wakes up. There's a war going out. There's a war going on in a backyard of his house, and Lorelai, Kai, Rain, and Rose, they all devise this plan to get people out, get Lion out to safety, because now it's about to go crazy. It's going crazy already, but it's about to go crazy. So they need to get Lion out of there. And Lion being the kid, you know what I'm saying? He has all these questions and stuff. It's cool, bro. We need to get you out of the house because of a war going on, bro. This stuff being blown up out there. So they get into the cave under the house, and it's an escape route that they can use to get out, right? So Kyra and Rose, they say their goodbyes to Lion. They're gonna catch up with him later. Lorelai and Lion, they are supposed to get out of the forest and get to safety in another region, and then afterwards they're all come together and they'll be back together. So in the meantime, Rain, Kai, and Rose, they are going to engage the two main camps to stop them from devolving into all out chaos, all out war in this rising civil war that's happening, right? So Lion and Lorelai, they leave. Kai, Rain, and Rose, they take off. The camps have already been identified. So Rose, goes to the camp to confront Siruda, and Kai, Rain, they go to confront Ion. So they infiltrate the camps very easily because these characters are well beyond they are well beyond normal fighting capacity here. We're talking like global class. They're the strongest ever. Okay, they're strong as hell. All right. So Kai, Rain, they infiltrate the camp. The camp officials, they're like, yo, where they come from? And they about to get it on. They're ready to go forward. You know what I'm saying? But Ion stops them, and they're like, yo, we don't need nobody getting killed right now. So let me try to talk to him and see what we could do. So they're talking to him, and Rain and Kai, they're talking to Ion. They're trying to figure out, okay, what are y'all doing? What is this? I thought we were past this. I thought this whole Civil War thing, I thought we already did negotiations, that we had treaties, and for all intents and purposes, there shouldn't be any more animosity or civil wars. We squashed the beef already. What's going on, right? At the same time, Rose is doing the same thing with Siruda. She's like, what's going on, man? Y'all got soldiers in our backyard killing each other. And we got a child in the house, man. I thought we had like an agreement that there'd be no more war. It will be at peace, and we'll be able to raise our child in your sacred forest. I thought that was the deal. And Siruda like, yeah, that is the deal. What's good? And Rose is like, well, why y'all got soldiers in our backyard? And to top it off, these are nobles. They already checked some of the corpse, and they found noble insignias and all this stuff on the fighting within the forest. There's people fighting, and Siruda is taken aback. She's like, yo, I didn't authorize that. Like, there shouldn't be anybody. Not only there shouldn't be anybody fighting in that forest, but nobles, they should know better. What's going on, right? So at the same time, Ion talking to Rain and Kai, she says the same thing. She's like, look, I don't know who authorized that. That's our sacred forest. There shouldn't be anybody fighting in it. We're going to do an investigation. We're going to get whoever did it. Okay, we're going to figure this out. And what? Like, Kai and Rain's like, investigation? Bruh, y'all got stuff blowing up in our backyard. Like, there's energy being flung in there, like so strong, it's blowing up stuff. All right? And we got a kid that we're raising in that forest, and y'all put him in danger, and we want y'all to stop this right now, or we gonna shut it all the way down. Like, we ain't gonna play. We ain't playing, all right? We gonna shut it down, okay? If that means we gotta kick your butt, we gonna kick your butt. We gonna kick your butt. Like, we gonna kick everybody's butt if y'all don't do something about it right now. And, they being the commanders, and, the nations have already voted to go to war or whatever. So at this point, they're like, yo, I tried to already stop it, but I can't stop it. Ion's like, I try to stop it. We can't stop it. You know what I'm saying? And Siruda is the same way. Look, I tried to stop this thing. We tried to stop it, but now that our kings are dead, and like the people want blood, bro. It is what it is. Like, we're gonna be fighting. And so they're like, all right then, we're gonna be fighting, let's fight. Next thing you know, this ball of energy, it's like this black orb of energy just like descends from the sky onto the ground. The entire, it's almost like the environment just shatters in front of your eyes, and this lightning, there's this lightning striking the ground, like the earth, the plane is shaking, and it's like, what the heck? Like, bruh, it's like the apocalypse just came down out of nowhere, right? So everybody's looking up like, yo, what is going on here? Do y'all know what that is? And it's like, I don't know what that is, right? Next thing you know, energy beams, like, just hit both of the main camps, explosion,